Hi ladies, I hope you're all well. Today we're going to be doing a heart opening flex and stretch sort of thing. So ideal for if you are into your third trimester. Lots of things to just connect with your heart space a little bit more. For today you're going to want to have 2 blocks and your usual support that you use underneath the hips as well, maybe a blanket as well. So I'll meet you onto your mats in just a moment. Today I'd like us to come into a comfortable kneeling posture. So grab your block, pop it between the heels and just sit back. You can use 2 blocks here if you want to. Especially into the later stages of pregnancy, into the 3rd trimester, I would suggest always using a block underneath the hips. But if you're already quite settled with your practice and you want to open through the hips a little bit more, you can, but obviously just be mindful. So make sure you're comfy, and we're going to bring hands onto our tummies. So wherever they rest naturally, you may have the hands further out to the sides if you're further along. Maybe if you are at the start of your 2nd trimester, you might not be showing as much. So just give yourself an embrace here and just send warmth and love down to your baby. Closing the eyes. And start coming into a natural, steady breath, so no need to control anything at all. So as I mentioned before, we're going to be doing some heart opening stretches to open through the shoulders, the upper body, but also open us up to some feelings and emotions. And let's start breathing into our chest and our heart center. Maybe scan the body for anything that doesn't serve you right now. So we can start by just taking a physical approach to start with. One of the easiest things to adjust is the physicality. So release any stress from the shoulders, tension through the neck, the face, the arms, the legs. And if you feel ready, maybe go a little bit deeper and clear out anything that lays in the way of opening through your heart, lays in the way of feeling. It could be something as simple as releasing negative thoughts or habitual patterns that get in the way of you manifesting what you really desire right now, what's coming from your heart. Feel out for the beating of your own heart, the feeling of your own breath. Remembering that you are breathing for 2 or more. You are sharing your breath, you are sharing your heart, you are sharing your whole space right now. This whole journey, you are never alone. This whole journey is to be shared. And let's gently come onto our hands and our knees into a 4-point kneeling position. So just pop the support of your blocks out to one side. And take just a moment to rock, maybe from side to side, maybe take some rolls of the hips. If you're already familiar with Ujjayi breath, go ahead and take that. Sometimes it helps just to can make the breath a little bit more audible and you can feel it a bit more. Let's go the other way. And let's start to take a cat-cow. So I'm just going to face the other way. Now you may want to take the knees a tiny bit wider than hip width and maybe a little bit back behind the hips just to accompany the extra weight that you're carrying at the moment, but we want to make sure that the shoulders are stacked above the wrists, fingers are spread and the elbows are soft so we're not locking. Let's take a breath in as you round through the back, hug your baby in, find that space in the top of the back. And as you breathe out, lift the tailbone and really reach the heart forward so we're not collapsing through the belly. Breathe in, round through the back, hug all the way in. Breathe out, release. Reach the heart forward. And just keep moving through this with the flow of your breath. Maybe upon each exhalation, you clear something out, something that's in your way. Let's take a few more rounds. Opening through the back of the heart space and the front. Lovely, and let's sit back into Vajrasana, so that kneeling posture again. I'm just going to face towards you guys, so grab yourself your blocks between the heels, underneath the bottom. Lovely. I'm just going to roll the shoulders up towards the ears and then roll them all the way back down. Using the right hand either on the floor or a block. Sorry, mojito. Sorry, did I move your cushion? You're going to bring the right hand down just to support, so you've got that right hand grounded. Take a deep breath in as you reach the left arm open. Breathe out, wrap the left arm behind the back, and you're going to take hold of your right forearm or the right arm, wherever you can reach, behind the back. Now notice how this might have made your ribs poke forward. So I want you to actively push your back into your left forearm, drop the shoulders, and see if you can draw the shoulder blades down the back and open out through the collarbones without poking the chest out. So we should be getting a nice opening, a nice stretch down that left arm, the left shoulder. We're going to take it a little bit further, so bring the right ear towards the right shoulder, so just melt it down. And keep actively drawing the ribs downwards. Relax the neck. And then let's bring the chin down to the right collarbone. And see how that feels. And then bring the chin to the chest, nice and slow. Keep drawing shoulder blades down the back. And then we're going to lift the head up, release the hold of that right arm, and we're going to bring the left hand to sit in between the shoulder blades, and then actively internally rotate this left arm. So we want to rotate it downwards, so we're getting this stretch down the left shoulder, and lift up through the heart. Keep the ribs drawn downwards, make sure we're not puffing the chest. And release that left arm down. Give it a shake out and roll. I've got a feeling that my dog is about to bark. I can hear someone walking past our house. So apologies in advance. Alright, take a breath in. Use the support underneath the left hand. Breath in as you reach the arm out. Breathe out, rotate the arm. And bring the hand down and around to support and take hold of that left arm. Now again, actively draw the ribs down, push the back in towards the right arm. Rotate the shoulders downwards, so you're lifting up through the heart, you're broadening through the collarbones. And just take a few breaths here. Again, release anything that's not serving you on your out breath. Okay, and slowly melt the left ear towards the left shoulder. One side may be tighter than the other. For me today, this side I'm really feeling this down my right shoulder. Really feeling that release. And just make sure you're not gripping really tight of that left arm with the right hand. Make sure you can still get the blood flow into the hand. And let's bring the chin towards the left collarbone. And the chin slowly comes down towards the chest, nice and slow. Release the head. Keep drawing shoulder blades down. And then lift the head up. Release the grip of that left arm. We're going to bring the right hand in between the shoulder blades. Again, if the chest is puffed out, draw the ribs downwards, rotate the shoulder blades down, and internally rotate this arm. So you're really trying to wrap that right hand towards the midline of the shoulder blades. 3 breaths. And slowly unravel the right arm and give it a shake out and a roll of the shoulder. Okay, let's come back onto our hands and our knees. So we'll come into Anahatasana, a puppy dog pose, unless baby hasn't turned yet, you want to create a little bit more space, you can take yourself into downward facing dog. So hips, let's start just with the hips stacked above the knees. You can have the toes tucked if you want to. We're just going to reach the arms out and keep broadening through the collarbones, drawing shoulder blades down the back. Hands want to be about shoulder width apart, maybe a tiny bit wider just to get a little bit more balance. And just take a rock from side to side. Gazing back towards your knees, so we're not pulling the chin towards the chest. We're following that nice, lovely long line from the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. And as you breathe into the heart space here, imagine your arms as branches. So as you breathe, you're breathing into the heart and then all the way to the tips of the fingers. So just really filling out that breath. Couple more breath cycles here. Nice swaying motion. Beautiful. And let's start walking the hands back towards the knees. Taking ourselves into a forward fold at the back of the mat. If you are experiencing any dizziness, come up a little bit fast, not faster, but a little bit before I am. So if you're here and you're feeling not too great, you can either come up or bring yourself back down to the earth on hands and knees if you get too dizzy. So we're going to start just by taking a rock from side to side. Now here is where you just take that indication. If you do suffer from a bit of dizziness, a little bit of vertigo, come back onto hands and knees straight away. And just really taking a little bit of movement through the hips. And we're going to move into some standing cat-cow. So we're going to take a breath in round through the back. You can do this on hands and knees if you want to. And as you breathe out, release the tailbone away, reach the heart forward, gazing up, finding that length through the heart space to the crown of the head. Breathe in, round through the back. Breathe out. We've got one more deep breath in. And full breath out. And let's come up to standing. All the way up. Take a breath in, reach the arms. And release the arms all the way down. Lovely. Alright. So standing wherever feels good on your mat. We're going to take some work just to open up through the chest and get a little bit of work through the legs, so just a tiny bit of work. So feet are going to be at least hip width apart, obviously to accompany the hips and create space, but also get a little bit more balance. So whilst you're holding a little bit more weight into the third trimester, it's important just to keep your balance in check. So feet nice and wide. What we're going to do first is we're going to take a deep breath in and reach the arms up, bring the palms together. As you breathe out, bring the arms behind the back and bring the palms of the hands together and interlace the fingers. We're going to straighten the arms, but what we want to avoid is locking the arms and puffing the chest again. So if you can draw the shoulder blades down the back, push the hands down and keep the ribs drawn in and lift up through the chest here. Soften the knees. It's the difference between here and here. I know I'm exaggerating, but just so you can really see. You just want to feel the opening through the chest and the shoulders. Palms are together. Take another deep breath in here. And as you breathe out, you're going to take a wide seat. Lovely. Inhale, push through the legs. Reach the arms all the way up. And breathe out. Bring the hands through prayer to the heart. And then down to baby. Take a moment to gaze down. Bit of gratitude. And let's do that again. Reach the arms all the way up. Hands into prayer. Breathe out. Release the arms down behind the back. Clasp the hands, palms of the hands together. Inhale, lift up through the heart. Exhale, take a wide seat. Inhale, push up through the legs, reach the arms, opening through the heart space. Breathe out, hands through to prayer, through your heart, down to baby. Again, maybe if your balance feels alright, you can look up to the hands here. Inhale. Exhale. Really open the heart. clasp the hands, interlace the fingers, breathe in, lift up through the chest. Breathe out, wide seat. Breathe in, lift up, reach the arms. Maybe gaze up to the hands. Breathe out. We've got 2 more rounds. Inhale, lift. Exhale, arms come down. Inhale, lift, reach those hands downwards, palms together. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, lift, reach the arms. Maybe gaze up, exhale, hands through prayer, heart space, down to baby. Last round, breathe in and reach. Breathe out. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out. Those are my feet clicking, I don't know if you heard. Breathe in and lift, reach the arms up. And out, hands through to prayer. Lovely. Just give the arms a shake out and the legs. So we're going to do that again, but we're going to do something slightly different. So I'm just going to tilt you up a little bit, just so you can see my hands when I lift up. So feet hip width or wider again. Take a breath and reach the arms up, and we're going to interlace the fingers. Keep breathing here. Now if you've got any high blood pressure at the moment, if you get dizzy, bring the hands back down. Interlacing the thumbs, really squeezing or pulling the thumbs apart and draw the shoulders down. That's going to help to broaden the chest. So we take a breath in here. So basically we've lifted the arms up. We breathe out, open the arms, bring the hands behind the back, coming into that wide seat. Breathe in, lift the arms up, squeeze the hands. Breathe out, come back down. Breathe in, lift up, squeeze the thumbs. Breathe out. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in, lift up, squeeze the thumbs. Shoulder blades opening. Breathe out. Don't bark, mojito, I know you want to. Breathe in, lift up. No. Breathe out. You can hear him going, woof. You're not going to bark. And here's our last one. Just reach the arms up, bring the hands into prayer. And breathe out. Beautiful. Okay, let's take some of those hip rolls, my faves. And the other way. All right. Let's bring the arms out to the sides. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, we're going to bring the left elbow on top of the right and just give ourselves a hug and just start walking the hands in towards the shoulder blades. Actively pulling the elbows towards each other. So you're trying to do this basically without opening. Keep those ribs drawn down and tuck the chin towards the chest. Okay, so we can stay here, or we can come into our Garudasana arms, our eagle arms. So feel free to take a sway if that feels good. So we're going to bring the palms up and bring the palms of the hands together. So the fingers of the right hand are more likely going to be in the palm of the left hand, okay? So lifting the elbows up, sink down, keep the back of the neck long, so we're going to face this way. Now if you're feeling okay with your balance and you want to get a little bit of leg work into this, a little bit of strength, you're going to cross the right leg over the left. You can use a block underneath the toes of the right foot, or you can set the right toes of the right foot onto the floor and sink down here. Now be mindful not to puff the chest out, so tuck the bottom and breathe into the back of the ribs. One more breath here. Inhale, push through that left leg if the legs are crossed. Release the legs first, open the arms out, breathe in. And as we breathe out, we're going to recross the other way. So right arm above the left. Let's give yourself a hug, a bit of self-loving. And then maybe come into those Garudasana arms. So fingers of the left hand are on the inside of the right. Maybe take your weight into that right leg, cross the left leg over and sink down. Drop the shoulders, tuck the bottom, knit the ribs down. 3 breaths. Breathe into the back of the heart. 2. Keep those elbows reaching up. 3. And slowly push up through that right leg. Unravel the legs and then unravel the arms. Take a breath in and release the arms down. Let's get some circles through the arms. Maybe bending the knees as you do this. And the other way. Brilliant. As our last one, let's come into our Malasana, our yogi squat. So we're going to make sure that we've got our blocks support for us. So feet are either side of the block, maybe just slightly in front, and we're going to come down and set the bottom down. Alright, so our natural birthing position, great one for just getting a dynamic pose for the pelvis, but today I want us to think about opening through the heart a little bit more. You can stay here as long as you want. You can even just stay here breathing into the heart space with the hands at your heart. So our option here is to start taking a twist. So we're going to bring the left hand down onto the floor, or you can use a block or any other support that you've got. And we're going to bring the right hand onto the right knee and open out the chest. We're taking an open twist. This left hand or left arm is putting a little bit of weight into the left leg just so we can open out. So we want to make sure that we're not compressing through the stomach or onto baby at all. So make sure you're creating the space that you can. Maybe even take it a bit further and lift the left arm up and really open out wide. If you've got binds in your practice already and you want to take the arms behind and interlace the fingers whilst wrapping the left, the top of the left arm around the left knee, you can, as long as it's not compromising the space of your baby. And release down. Let's swap sides. So left hand is going to come onto the left knee. We're going to open out through the heart. Shoulder blades are still sliding down the back, so we're not rounding forward. We're thinking about our posture and the space. And maybe see if it feels good to take that left arm up. Open out through the heart. Keep ribs drawing down so we're not kind of puffing the chest. And then maybe see if it feels okay to take a bind. You can maybe even just bring that left hand behind the back. One more breath here. And let's release. Lovely, okay. So from here we're going to just come onto our hands and our knees. We're going to take an open twist on our sides. So have the support of a blanket or a cushion so that you can rest your head. You can use a block or a bolster. So we're going to first just come onto our left hand side. And we're going to have the knees more or less stacked, kind of like a mermaid. This is where you might want to use a cushion in between the knees as well, just to take the pressure off the pelvis. We're going to open out the left arm behind us, using the right hand to support us all the way down. So we're getting an opening through that left shoulder. Now you can stay here. I'm going to face the other way just so you can see what I'm doing, because I don't think you can actually see my arm. I've got a microphone now, so whatever way I turn you can hear me, which is groovy. So coming down onto our left side. As I said, you can stay here, use the support of cushions or blocks between the knees. Maybe even reach this right arm behind. Now the more that we open up, the more that we're going to get this twist. And it is an open twist, so it should feel really, really, really good for you. We're not compressing or putting any pressure onto tummy. So maybe see how it feels to straighten the legs. Maybe bring the right foot behind to open up through the pelvis and open the heart up towards the sky. Maybe see how it feels to rotate the arm the other way, so that left arm. And just focus on those long, nurturing breaths. Okay, let's take one more breath. And we're going to bring that right hand all the way out in front of us, coming onto our left hand side. And we're going to just push through that right hand and bring ourselves back up, and then take a little turn over through tabletop to the other side. So doing exactly the same, reaching the right arm out besides us. And we are allowing the left hand to support us, and just make sure you get nice and settled, nice and comfortable. You can go ahead and take the legs in whatever way that you would like to. Just matching the feeling of what you felt on the other side. Remember to breathe and just listen to your breath and let your breath communicate with you. Maybe see how your right arm feels if you want to rotate the palm up or down. And then slowly just start drawing the knees together and pushing through the left hand and lift yourself up. Come on to our bottoms. A supported reclined posture, so we want to have the upper body supported upright so that we're not completely flat on the floor. So you can use some blankets underneath your back. We don't want anything too high, don't want to use blocks underneath the back, so actually me having a bolster is probably too much. So you maybe want something a little bit lower. But I got a nice small bolster, so it should be fine. So we're going to relieve some pain for the lower back by coming onto our backs just momentarily and using the support of the heart ever so slightly lifted. Okay, so my heart is slightly up. Apologies for the sound that kept going out on this video. So we're going to make sure the heart is slightly lifted. You can use a blanket or a cushion underneath your back, as I said. Make sure your head is supported as well. So we're going to work on strengthening the leg muscles and getting a nice release, especially for the lower back. So grab hold of a block, or if you've got a hard book, and we're going to have the feet hip width apart and just slide the block underneath the hips. the shortest edge, and just see how that feels. You may feel okay to take it a little bit higher and really release. Oh, that feels so good. Really release that lower back and the sacrum. Maybe give a go at interlacing the fingers behind the bottom, drawing the shoulder blades together. If it's in your practice to take it higher, you can maybe come onto an even higher level of that block, maybe even straighten out the legs if that feels good. So what we're doing here is we're not only releasing through the back muscles, and we're stretching out the muscles, but we're also allowing ourselves to strengthen through the arms and the legs, especially if you do this without a block, which you can do. If you're here, you're working on strengthening the arms and legs whilst stretching out the back muscles. Let's just take one more breath where we are. And then come down. Side. And then lift yourself up. Lovely. Take a gentle fold forward with the soles of the feet together. And take a rock. Alright, and we're going to come into our supported Shavasana now. So supported Shavasana. Grab yourself a couple of blocks. Bolster if you want, if you don't have blocks. Just something to have your heart upright as you lay back. Now I'm just going to tell my dog to be quiet. Mojito, be quiet. No. No. Sorry about that. So we're going to have... No. Shh. Be quiet. Blocks to sit underneath the, like right underneath the tip, the base tip of the shoulder blades. And just see what level feels best. I feel best on the lower level for me. And then the other block is going to support the head. So you can open out through the heart here. You can pop the legs however feel good. My personal preference. So my personal preference is to have the knees bent. But actually, today it felt quite good having the legs straight. So just come into posture that feels good for you. That's the main thing. And then maybe bring the hands onto the waist, onto baby. And thank yourself for the stillness that you're able to create in your life. Now, one of my favourite teachers is Bryony Smith, and she talks a lot about how we as human beings aren't necessarily human beings. Sometimes we can refer to ourselves as human doings. I'd like you to just allow yourself to be right here and to be still. Be here and share this moment with your unborn baby. Let yourself release any of those habitual thoughts that are standing in the way of you releasing and you feeling what you need to feel. Maybe take a gentle body scan from the head down to the toes. Taking also this time to thank your baby, excuse me, thank your baby for sharing this journey with you. Thank yourself for sharing your body to create life, to send nurturing love down to your womb space. This time is about you and your unborn baby. Allow yourself to be still and grateful in this moment. So if you would like to take a longer Shavasana, feel free and stay where you are. But if you are feeling ready to start to come out of your practice, just start bringing some more awareness back into the body, and then make your way onto your left hand side. Be mindful that there isn't really a graceful way to come onto your left when you are supported if you've got blocks or bolsters. So just really take your time. Take any movement in between. Having a soft gaze with the eyes closed if possible. And come to an easy seat. And bringing hands onto baby. Dropping the shoulders. Thanking yourself for your practice, your time that you set out in your day to connect with yourself and connect with the beautiful miracle that you are growing within you. Take a moment of gratitude for your loved ones, anyone who surrounds you, offers you support. Bringing the hands to prayer at Nama.